3, 2. What's up, everybody?
Hey,
it's Thursday night, the best night of your life. Candid Talk Radio on IntellectualRadio.com, where we're here in the studio, where we're bringing you the latest topics, the hottest gossip, and our political. We got a political analyst. We doing big things here on Candid Talk Radio. We got to my left, my girl, my love, my baby, my cousin.
86.
Oh,
What's up, Miss Atwater?
Hey,
86.
y'all.
Wrong
Happy
school, but that's
Thursday.
all right. We still got love for you.
Hey, my wonderful mentor, Latasha Watson, prophetess Latasha Watson, that is.
Hey, Prophetess Latasha Watson. Great to have you tuning in live to Candid Talk Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. And to Tasha's left,
I know, because
we got the next congressman
everybody.
for District 7, Mr. Tracy Jennings, for Congress
Glad to be here.
in 2020.
Rob, what's up?
All right.
And to his left, we have CEO and president of the Bunny Ranch, Mr. Dion Washington.
Hey,
Lord
Dion,
Jesus,
welcome back. We
Lord,
missed you
Lord,
last
Lord.
Thursday.
That is
Can you
amazing.
plug that up right there?
Amazing.
Hippity hop, hippity hop.
Hop, hop, hop. It's right next to Thursday. Easter.
No, not quite.
Yeah, like 2
Are you
weeks.
gonna say good?
Hey,
good to the
nephew.
people?
Hey, what's going on, Free World? How
Hey,
y'all doing?
Yolanda. Hey, Georgette.
Welcome.
Welcome, you guys.
You came back this Thursday. You must have had a good old time.
Yeah, this was nice. I'm looking forward to it. I put this on my campaign Facebook page, but last week is on my personal page, and everybody was saying hi and all of that, but
Aren't you
ain't
fancy?
nobody said nothing yet. So
Did you let them know that you were going live?
No, I didn't.
So sometimes you have to do it
Okay.
right before you go live to say, "Hey, you guys,
okay.
I'll be on Candid
See, I'm
Talk
learning.
Radio."
All this is new to
What's
me.
up,
So
bro?
yeah,
I'm learning,
but as
so-
long as you're live,
Yeah, somebody will pick you up.
somebody
They'll
will,
pick it up.
they'll catch
Right.
it up and see
Okay.
you.
Hey,
Hey,
Cousin
Sister
Lakeisha.
Toyin, how are you,
Hey,
my
sweetheart,
love?
How are you?
So we're here. It's been so nice outside.
Francine,
it's like
what's up, mama?
67
Check me out. You see me?
today. By my house, it's 67
see me?
degrees.
Got you, Francine.
Yeah.
Yesterday was snowing.
Did we have snow
You guys
yesterday? Because
got-
I didn't get it.
I
It
didn't
was
get
in the
Schaumburg.
city. In some spots in the city,
Really?
it was going. I saw people posted pictures like, "Really, Chicago? Is this what we're doing?" And it was-
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
You
I
know.
worked in Schaumburg. I looked out the window. I was going on lunch. I said, "Oh, nope, not going out there." It snowed
Hey,
for about an
my
hour.
sister Ebony, all the way from Detroit. Detroit is in the
Hey,
house.
Ebony.
Yeah. So, hey, my brother Michael Anthony, can a sister get her watching
Willie,
a shirt
what's
this
up, bro?
weekend? That's all. Can a sister get her watching a shirt this weekend? That's all I'm asking.
So
Can,
what
can
did
a
you think
sister
about last
get
week's
it?
show?
I enjoyed it. Just the way the show is set up. You guys take a topic and just give your honest opinion about it, and I think that's what we need more of today.
We give our
So-
candid,
honest.
candidly speaking.
Kiva, what's up,
So
mama?
don't be honest.
Oh, it's honest, but it's candid also.
Right, you're not responsible.
Hey, brother Love,
Okay.
all the way down in
Brother
Florida.
Levi Cobb,
Okay.
class of 76.
And now
What's
that
going on,
Dion-
man?
He is not
Welcome
on your
aboard.
feed. He is on my feed.
I'm looking at him right now.
I'm looking at him on my
Whatever.
feed. Levi, who feed you on? You on mine or you on
Hey,
his?
Hey, I love my
you,
attitude,
you gotta
Francine.
pick
Thank
one.
you.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Oh,
Just
you
keep
my
watching,
co-host? Don't nobody like you.
No, we love the bunny. We love the
Oh,
bunny.
he sending kisses
We love the bunny.
today. That's what. Okay, huh?
Well, I can't get close enough to kiss you because I'm scared you might
Ew.
bite me.
Yeah, that's
Oh, so
exactly
much
right. I
love.
will bite
Bite,
you
bite.
Yeah, I know.
if you
And I don't want to be
think about
turned.
it.
I don't want to be turned. So
But Dion, we missed you. I missed you.
I like being mortal, not like you. I don't mind, you know what I'm saying, the afterlife. You on the other hand, you got issues. Thank you, sweetheart. I missed y'all too, and I hate that I couldn't come out last week. Like I said, I had some things going on, so I just couldn't make it out the house. So, I was laying around.
House or your cage?
I was laying around today, like I think I'm gonna come out tonight. It's a nice night.
I'm
out.
glad you came out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, man. I appreciate it. Tracy,
Mustang
what's up,
class of
mama?
86.
Yeah, 86.
So is it one of those like big
Here we
pit
go.
bull
Here we go.
cages that you sleep in? I mean,
It's the same cage you got. It's the
like
same cage you
pit-
got. I
pit
saw
bull.
yours and I was like,
Boston.
you know what? That's pretty slick. You know what I'm saying? So,
So
you
you have
know,
the pit
relax.
bull
What's up, mama?
cage.
Yeah, man.
Jolinda, JoJo, hey, how you doing, sweetie?
So
Hey,
what's up there with the
Darius,
campaign?
guess
How was
another
your
Morgan
week?
Park alumni.
Okay. Well, I mean, y'all want to get an update?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
yeah.
get
All right,
an
update.
update.
Jump right on in.
All right,
All
Congress, the next Congressman, Tracy Jennings, Morgan Park alumni,
Illinois,
class of 86.
7th congressional
running
district.
for 7th congressional district. He's trying to unseat my Uncle Kenny.
Bye-bye. There's a new sheriff in town.
New family. We got to let the other family. Got to let my brother get in office. So let's go.
Okay, we just finished first quarter. We had an outstanding first quarter.
Okay.
We have started our school tour.
Oh, Ebony is our other co-host from Detroit,
so
you guys.
There are
Ebony.
195 public and charter schools in the district. So we started that. We visited multiple workforce organizations, those organizations that are helping people find jobs. One of the things that we have a problem with among African Americans in our district, our unemployment rate is almost 5 times the national average. So we're about 17%, and the national average is about 3.8. So we're trying to deal with that. Also, the recidivism. Our district has a very high recidivism. But we had a very good time. The first quarter, we're getting ready to start visiting our CAPS meetings. There are 6 districts within the 7th district. So District 2, District 7, District 9, 10, 11, and District 15 of the Chicago Police Department falls within the Illinois 7th Congressional District.
Okay.
Wow, I know you're excited about that.
Yeah. So just going around the district and, just meeting all of the people and talking to people and just really, we feel we're offering something different. I'm an independent, and an independent has not won this seat in 147 years.
Wow.
So since 1873, Alexander Campbell was the last person to win this seat. So, what I hear out there is just, we need something different. We need a whole new way of looking at our political system. You got 2/3 of the people who are unplugged. Even though they're registered to vote, they've unplugged, because what's happening is it's like taking the same soup and just putting it in a different bowl. And then over time, you can fool a child. You put it so good, but after a while they're gonna catch on. And that's what you're seeing. People have just finally said, you know what, we're tired of it. But I would encourage people, as we get ready to walk the district, we have 597 precincts in this district. So we're going to be walking all 597 starting this June. So going door to door, getting back to the basics of really touching voters. So that's what I'm excited about.
Okay. You know what? That's one of the things, if I can, for a second. Last week, and I said this, but nobody read my comment. But
we ignore it.
Hey, Chrisella.
I know, Christina, you have a problem reading.
What's up, Miguel?
We ain't gonna talk about that.
You gonna get up off my cousin.
Tell him one more time.
You gonna get up off my cousin.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I got room for one more. If you keep going, I got room for one more. I got room for all I need. Anyway.
Please, let's get off Facebook Live. That's how people get called.
If nothing else, you know what I appreciate about Tracy is that he is a fresh face and he is well informed. That's the one thing that I really do like, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that others aren't, but when you get into the politics of Illinois and Cook County or whatever, is status quo for the most part. So to have a fresh face and a fresh way of thinking and somebody who can, in my opinion, connect more with the people, man, I think that's a winning combination, dude, so.
Well, I appreciate that, because what we have right now is a monopoly. And if this was a business, the ironic part about this, if this was a business, the government would be trying to break it up.
Oh, definitely.
You have Elizabeth Warren running around the country saying we need to break up Amazon. Well, who breaks up if a political party is a monopoly?
Right.
So for 70 straight years, the Democratic Party has held this seat uninterrupted. You can't get better without competition. That's just impossible. LeBron will tell you that. Michael Jordan will tell you that. It was in practice where they got better. And so all we're trying to do is say, hey, we need a better voice. We need for the people to stop saying the lesser of two evils, and so that's the direction that I feel will bring that 2/3 back into our political process.
But as an independent, and you stated that it's been
47 years.
147 years.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been an independent in a seat in 147 years. What do you have different than the people? Besides your research, besides your knowledge, what else can you offer the people of the congressional 7th district be, because an independent has not been in that seat in 147 years?
Sure. What's up, bro?
Well, that's a great question. The problem is that most people won't take the challenge. So there haven't been independents running. So I want to be clear of that. So most people look at the daunting task. How can you go up against the political machine? If you start talking to people who are into politics, they're going to tell you need gobs of money and you got to know this person. But one thing I've always prided myself on and have been able to accomplish in my life, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I do believe that, if you have a will, there's a way. And one of the things, that we're getting ready to kick off, we're literally going to compete in all 597 precincts by doing it the old fashioned way, knocking on doors and meeting people directly.
And that's how my girl Stephanie Coleman just won.
Happy birthday, Stephanie!
Yeah, her birthday's Saturday.
What's going on, brother Tony? So that's what we bring.
What she did.
That's what we bring different. Right now, most political candidates,
thank you, Roland.
all they're doing is waiting 2 weeks before the election. You might get something in your mail saying vote for me, or something bashing the person that they're running against, but they never actually took the time to get to know their constituents. Right. And so we're going to walk the district this year, and we're going to turn around and walk the district again next year. So all this will be captured, on social media. So each day we're going to be updating you. I'm excited about this.
And I'm excited for you. And you got a platform here anytime on Candid Talk Radio, IntellectualRadio.com. Anytime you want to, we just really made you our other co-host. He just don't know it yet, but we really have.
So he is a welcome aboard. So Malcolm says that Chicago has a new mayor, a black woman. So that pretty much
Sister Leslie.
So therefore, you being an independent that's running, I think that's amazing.
Well, thank you.
I think that you have a lot to bring to the table. That was my first time meeting you last week. And I'm like, you got my attention. Not only did you get my attention in the political aspect, you got my attention with the knowledge, the resources that I forgot my paper and pen, but you also got my attention on the ministry side.
Okay.
So that's definitely two. And you have some people that say, well, how do you mix politics and ministry together?
Yes.
How do you mix that together?
Well, because James Meek, Senator Meek, took a big hit on that.
He did.
I once again, being an independent gives you the freedom to only have to deal with your constituents. What's up, bro? When you actually become part of a party, there are rules, there are guidelines that you have to kind of conform to. So the separation, I've always worked as a pastor. In fact, just until last November, I was a public service administrator for the state of Illinois. So there's a way.
I'm sorry, did they hire somebody in your spot?
I don't know.
Melissa,
I'm waiting to get an office. I get my resume. Listen, they got that 947,000.
671.
Yes.
You got it.
Hey!
You got it. You got it.
That much money.
They got that much money for salary people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got my resume ready.
So I just believe it's being organized. It's really understanding, what each role is.
Right.
But you did mention there is a spiritual component that we are missing, in our communities. And, and I'm not going to be afraid to say that. I think a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but that aspect
what's
of
going
it,
on, bro?
how we raise our children, how we interact with one another. Me and Chris from the same neighborhood, everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, we knew everybody.
Everybody. And so and that's not that long ago. I think we really, because of what we see, we think, well, neighborhoods can't go back to that. No, yes, they can.
I believe they can.
And they can. So I just bring a researcher.
Charlie, what's up, bro?
Bring someone who has a public service.
What's going on?
So if you don't have a heart for people, if you don't have a heart to see things change, then what you'll do, you'll acquiesce as soon as you get in there, because it'll become more about how can I stay in here?
Don, what's going on?
This isn't about me. This is about really giving the people here in the 7th Congressional District a real opportunity to say, wow, we've never had a choice. Basically, you hear it all the time, the lesser of two evils, or, horrible or terrible, but, and that's unacceptable. So we're really going to be challenging people as we start walking. Everybody that's out there, come join us. When I'm in your precinct, when I'm in your ward, I want you to come join me, because the Illinois 7th Congressional District touches 22 of the 50 wards in the city of Chicago.
Tell nephew or say,
so,
hey, what's up?
It's a big
area.
Yeah.
So what is your biggest challenge now?
Sharice, what's going on?
There's really, just name recognition, getting out there and meeting people. one thing about it, once I come face to face with people, I normally can win them,
Yeah,
because that's, when they see the genuineness, when they really see about, what you care about, and then having that platform, the 4 points that we're looking at, because the thing is, you can't do everything when you get elected to Congress, but our educational system, we have to put our focus on that. We need our criminal justice system reform. We need for our veterans to be taken better care. I'm a veteran, and it's far too many homeless veterans, and it's far too many veterans that have mental issues that are not being.
We talked about that the last time.
We did talk about the veterans. I mean, I'm not a veteran. I was going to the service. I was going to the Marines, actually, because their uniforms was cute, girl. That was all I was going to.
Right now,
Nevertheless,
we're just talking about
as soon as the nail would have broke. Oh my God, my nail broke.
7th district in 2020.
Nevertheless,
so he talking about
it's very disheartening to see so many veterans on the side of the expressway or downtown with a sign saying they're veterans.
Yes.
The other thing the veterans have a problem with is that it takes them months to get a doctor's appointment. You have fought for our country.
Yes.
You have seen families get killed. Things have blown up right by you.
Yes.
And this is what you come back home and this is all you get.
Yeah.
Right. So I shout out to all of the veterans.
All of the
veterans. Thank you for your service.
My brother was a veteran. I have uncles that was a veteran, and it disturbs me greatly. Yeah. And if I don't give anybody else anything, and I'm one of them people that a lot of them will have them dog tags still on. If you got them dog tags, I don't hesitate to give you something out of my pocket. It may be my last $10, $15 or whatever, but I'm going to give it to you because you're the reason why I'm free here where I'm at. And I don't have to worry about nobody coming here because of everything that you've done while you was on that line fighting for United States of America.
Like she ready to preach. Like she got some stuff down up in
I'm just saying, it does. It's a subject that really upsets me when I see people and the government don't care.
But that's the thing is why have we allowed these things to go on for so long?
I think because people feel like they don't have a voice.
But that's the whole thing. Listen, the two political parties, and like I said, I have, the party structure. People within them are good people.
Hey, Brother Washington.
But we got to understand that special interest drives our politics. What is special interest? These are all these major corporations who hire lobbyists. Who actually then write bills, give them to the members of Congress because they then funneled money into them to basically pass a law that's going to benefit their company so they can make billions and billions. And now we're getting into the trillions. So until our voice, this is a government of the people, by the people. And until we start speaking up and say, hold on, that's unacceptable. That's what we want to bring to light. We want people to understand. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm interviewing. That's what a campaign is. A campaign is an interview. So I'm interviewing, I'm going around, I'm talking to people, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Give me your support. So now I get elected. You now should be holding me to what I talked about on the campaign. You should be holding me to what my job description is. But what normally happens, we go back into our everyday lives, and it allows people to wind up just doing what they want to do. And that's what I know. Listen, I know what I'm getting ready to do. This is a heavy lift, to try to do this as an independent in Cook County, all Democrat. I believe you. I know. But, any good thing that has happened in life, that has made a major shift, it took someone that had courage to step out and say, you know what, I'm not going to just go with the status quo. I'm going to actually step out. You think about it, when Dr. King stepped out, there were a lot of people, what's funny to me, people love to rewrite history, but there were lots of people that lined up against Dr. King. Because they were like, you know what? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the cost of you actually doing it, it's going to cost lives and all of these types of things.
That's what my nephew said, that he wanted to get into the politics, but it probably will cost him his life.
Well, it all, like I said, it all depends. This is not something that I'm just doing on my own. In August of 2016, I really believe I heard the voice of the Lord that told me to do this. And then when I asked Congress, first of all, I said, well, I'm an independent. How am I going to do this? I mean, I don't,
the voice spoke.
Well,
but then again, what you got to do.
Exactly. So the scripture that he led me to was Gideon. Gideon actually took on 10,000 men with 300. And yet and still that 300 never once had to lay a a hand on them because of God's mercy and God's grace that was on them.
Well,
So, you know,
Right.
so you just have to be willing to go. And there's another one, just from a secular standpoint. I think about what Master P did. Master P went to all the major record labels. They wanted all his rights.
Right.
You know,
Yes,
he was like, no, I'm not giving up my artistry.
Right.
He sold 100,000 albums out of his trunk.
Yeah.
Out of his
he
trunk.
had a willpower. Say, I gotta
see,
do this.
And so that's where
He
you
was
really
hungry.
have to be willing to say, you know what, I'm a grind. You know, one thing I know how to do, if I don't know how to do nothing else, this comes from Southside. Southside here, y'all. We know how to grind. We're not afraid of work. We're not afraid of hard work. We're not afraid of getting up every day and going at it. So that's what I bring to the table.
Hey, Mr.
Pastor
one
Tim
of our
Smooth
supervisors.
says the government has even taken our benefits away without explanation. Do you guys lost benefits?
Well, veterans, of course, you know, but once again, who is there fighting? What's going on, Frat? Who is there fighting for us? See, when it's only one team, you know, what have we've been taught when we're on a team? Never bash your other team, right?
Work together.
Never, always don't say this. So now if it's only one team, we can't get better. Because you're really not gonna tell me, going back to the old way of saying things, you ain't gonna tell me my slip is hanging because we're on the same team.
Same team, right?
So this is why even when we have some of the problems that have been perpetuated in the city of Chicago for decades now, think about it. What elected official can you name right now that's been an advocate against this gun violence? I mean, this not community activists.
Yeah.
I'm talking about an elected official that put it out there.
Community activists that are out there, it's only for media attention.
True, but what I'm saying, who name one elected official that we can readily say they lay it on the line every day about these things?
Hey, Sonia.
And I want you to think about that.
You can't think of
and
one.
see that right there should tell you a lot of these people have selfish motives.
Yes.
And they're not willing to put themselves out there, because if you start standing up and say, hold on, how is it that we can get people speeding, you know, going through a red light, but somehow we cannot catch these people who do these drive-bys and shoot? Somehow all we get the description is it was a dark SUV.
Right.
You know, that's the or then the police will say, well, it's gang related. Well, how do you know? How do you know? I'm gonna just start a conspiracy theory right now. What if there's someone, y'all remember the movie Mr. Brooks? If you haven't seen it, go check it out. This man had an appetite for killing. He didn't know he killed people he didn't know, because that way none could be linked back.
The other day, man.
What about if somebody's coming into our communities,
that was on cable,
shooting up, you know, and then driving out?
Yeah, that's true, man.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know,
just because you can start it.
Because if you know, okay, so say, well, I'm not gonna be the one that they're gonna look for, because they're gonna just write it off as gang related. And so we have to begin to say, hold on, why are people?
You know what's so funny though? Now that you mention that, and I mean,
what's up, gang?
Conspiracy theory. If you go back to "Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood," if you go back to the scene where they were in the liquor store and he shot up the liquor store. And he said, "Why did you shoot him?" He's like, "That wasn't me." And it was the white guy over there. He's like, "It's the man. Right. He's good." You know what I'm saying? It's just, just on
what's up, brother
mindset of what you were saying. You know, I mean,
I don't know where my wife at, y'all. She knew to this stuff too. She done text me talking about, "You live yet?" So if anybody out there, Chrisella, if you still on there, please tell your friend that I'm live. I'm on the campaign Facebook page. Not on
you only got two, so I mean, if it ain't on one, you on the other. Sit there. Come on now.
Right.
Now, what I find very interesting,
Angela, what's up, bro?
As a country, you know, everyone say that America is a well put together country. But if you go to Capitol Hill, for instance, you have Democrats on one side, Republicans on one side. Republican is their building is like 2 blocks from the Democrats. They don't even eat lunch together. The only time they come together is doing a hearing.
Right.
They won't even.
Yeah, they don't.
How do you not even break bread with each other?
Well, that's one of the things that we definitely want to change. As a veteran, there's a military caucus. In fact, that military caucus brings people from both sides of the aisle, and they meet once a month to actually introduce bipartisan legislation.
I've never seen that.
You know, and I know, but
Ms.
because
Stewart, how you doing?
what has happened over our country, we have a lot of self-interest people in our politics now. Giving you a statistic from in 1969,
I'm gonna bring my dog on.
All right, you got your pad. In 1960,
we know we got to have a pad when Tracy comes in here.
In 1969,
wasn't born yet.
75% of the Congress were veterans. 75%. And these were people who honored public service. Hey, baby, my wife finally came up. These were people who honored public service.
Mm-hmm.
Today, only 19% of the members of Congress are veterans.
But did you know also that there was no Democrats? Everybody was a Republican at one time.
Well, no, if you go back and
if you go all the way back, everybody was considered a Republican. They were not. Democrats did not come about until the 1800s.
Oh yeah, well, if you're going all the way back to the
Federalists,
I go
all the way back. I went all the way. My research
right,
go all the way back.
Was there.
Right, the first two parties were the Federalists and Republicans. So, and then that's how they brought it up. But special interests actually built the political parties.
Right.
So even George Washington and James Madison warned against political parties because they knew that eventually, especially with only two, most democracies around the world actually have 5, 6, even 7 different parties. Yeah. So what winds up happening, they're forced to work together because there's no majority. Mm-hmm. But now we only have 2 choices. Think about that. Yeah. Go to a grocery store and you got 2 items you got to pick from every time. Ooh. Every time.
Ooh,
so you got after a while, you're just gonna start disconnecting.
Twin, what's up, bro?
You're gonna just be like, you know what? It's the same soup, it's a different bowl. So, you know, we are doing something. And I know a lot of young people, especially when I talk to young people, the first thing they say, when I say independent, they face along. Because they like, finally somebody. Yes, it's gonna be a heavy lift. I know it is, but that's okay. I've been told all my life what I couldn't do.
Yeah.
All my life. Yeah. And yet and still, when it's done, then we all say, you know, y'all church folk. We say what? But God.
Satan down there.
But what's up, Jason?
We're gonna let him in the kingdom. We're gonna let him in.
But see, that's what you have to be willing to do. Is to be uncomfortable. If you really want change, you got to be uncomfortable.
You have to be uncomfortable.
That's it's not going to just come just because I want this to happen. No. So I'm going to log. We already have estimated. I'm going to log over 1,000 miles walking my district, because as you go up and down the streets, up and down the street, up and down. Oh, we gonna listen. We gonna do it fun. We gonna chart our steps. We gonna show you how many miles we've been walking, and just to show people too that it's not impossible. You know, the first thing they tell you is, oh, you need all this money. Yeah, money is good, but guess what? Time. Going door to door is better than anything you can do.
That's true.
And so we're just going to do that. And the doors that we can't knock on, obviously condos and some apartment building, we'll be sending things to them, but then we'll be posting up in their ward, say on that Saturday, say, hey, I'll be over here if you want to come and meet me. You know, obviously I can't walk into your building because you live in a condominium.
So if anyone out there that want to be a part of.
Yes. What's going on, Frat? George Wilson. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Your campaign, what do they have to do?
All they have to do is go to TracyJenningsCongress.com. It's a form on there if you want to get involved with our campaign. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm up on LinkedIn, and it's openings. So I do have openings for jobs right now. And the first, hold on. First thing I tell people, I said it's each opening that we have has a job description with it. Mm-hmm. Now, the reality of it is that right now, you know, our campaign is just getting started. So a lot of these are going to be time that people have to volunteer. Mm-hmm. As we move along, and those people have shown dedication to what we're doing, when funds start coming in, those people are going to be compensated. But, you know, the first thing that people, you know, and I always test that. People say, well, you know, are you paying? You know, listen, some things in life, you just got to be willing to be a part of. As y'all know, all the volunteering work the Eastern Stars do. Yes. You know, ain't nobody asking for no money.
Shout out to Lydia, chapter number 1, my sisters.
I done worked her up. So,
well, but, you know, it is a thing with, because I've worked campaigns and, you know, where they want you to volunteer, and then you volunteer your time and you dedicate, you're out there. But then when the say for instance, they lose the campaign, they ghost. Yeah. So that's why I think a lot of people ask ahead of time because you do have people ghost. I mean, I had someone just telling me that per week will ghost them on some money.
Wow.
And I could believe it because she was doing it during a campaign.
Wow.
So,
but see, those are things too. You know, if you're coming aboard, make sure you're getting things in writing.
In writing.
Make sure you get it in writing. So now you're hearing me as a candidate. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do something and then don't do it. So you have to get that stuff in writing, and then hold people to it. So that's what I'll tell people right now. They say, well, are you paying? I said, I wouldn't really call it paying. It might be more of a stipend, or if you're doing something. So somebody's doing a specific task, that might be we'll pay you for that task. But until we get monies coming in, then how are we going to pay people? So we have to keep that in mind too as we move forward. But if we got people out there that's willing to get down now, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be something. This is going to be history making here. And somebody asked me, well, doing this as an independent, why would you do it as an independent? Why did Barack Obama run for president? We had never had a black president.
Yeah.
So he had the audacity of hope to say, I can get this done. And so I just feel that, especially at the congressional level and down, there's really no reason when you think about it. Most towns,
Big P, what's up, bro?
Most towns you don't need to even declare a party. In the town of Westchester, village of Westchester, when you run for office, you don't declare a party.
Okay.
So, if we think about if there was no parties, what would we do? What would we be doing? We would be looking for the person with the most qualifications, the one that, and that's all we're trying to do is get people to say, hey, let's reassess how we look at politics.
So when if you have, how many persons would your campaign hold for you to hire or volunteer? How many volunteers? Right now, volunteers are unlimited, correct?
Yeah.
Where's your office?
My office is at 300 North LaSalle, downtown.
Oh, you're downtown. You're actually downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, he got some money, y'all. He got downtown space. No problem for that. He got downtown space. No.
We're not paupers.
Right. But I'm just saying
we're investing.
Yeah.
Because how can I ask you to invest if I'm not going to invest?
Yeah, that's true.
So right there, I always tell people, I said, if I'm not willing to put skin in the game, how can I expect you to do it?
Right.
So, but we're down now. Once we actually start our campaign out, that's my administrative office. Once next year, once we actually get our campaign office, then that'll be somewhere in the district.
So, do you know who's potentially running against you? Because I think I only know of one person running against you.
I don't know. I don't really at this point. I'm not concerned. No one's declared.
Yeah.
I'm the only one, besides obviously the incumbent that's there, but I'm the one that officially have declared.
Right. But it is another I'll tell you who he is once we get off air.
It's a couple of people that have been,
as far as I know, this is the only person that's and that's because he had been mentored by the incumbent. So been for years.
Yeah.
So
9 years chief of staff.
He's been preparing him. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Him, so.
One thing I always do, I really don't, concentrate on that.
And that's what I was about to tell you because he's not well liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to tell you when we're able to draw a distinct line, sometimes you'll hear a Democrat or you'll hear a Republican say, "Oh, I'm an independent Democrat" or "I'm an independent Republican."
Right.
That's just political talk, y'all.
Yeah.
I am truly an independent. So look at me out there. I am truly an independent. And I have no bones about it. I'm not in the closet about it.
Hey,
I'm not trying to fool people to make them think I'm a Democrat because I'm in Cook County.
Right.
And some people even told me that. They said, well, maybe you should, just kind of pretend that no, that's dishonest. And I'm not going to do that.
Exactly. Be honest.
Exactly.
That's the winner right there who could be honest and
hate it for who I am than love for who I'm not.
Right.
Exactly.
And so with that, I think just giving these fresh ideas when, you think about some of the problems we've had for decades.
Just a platform. We
and what do you do if nothing is getting done? Think about that. At some point in time, you have to go in a different direction.
If I'm here,
you just have to. So even if the incumbent is not going to run,
we let it ride.
Now the party is going to want to put somebody right back in there to do the same thing. So it still doesn't benefit us. So that's what I believe when we take this message right to the people.
Brittany, hey,
watch
sweetie, how are you?
Another Morgan Park alumni class of 85.
What we ought to do is do a poll to say how many of y'all just won't even listen to somebody if they're not a Democrat. How about that?
Did y'all hear that?
Did y'all hear that? So, you got some people, and if you don't want to even listen, then you're called an ideologue. You know,
Scott,
where you just
bro?
simply won't even listen. If you're not a Democrat, if you're not a Republican, then you're an ideologue. You can't even look at a person and say, you know what, that's a good idea.
How's that beautiful weather in Florida?
But if you don't want to do that, then you're what's called an ideologue.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are not ideologues. In fact, 42% of all Americans now have identified themselves as independent. So that's more than Democrats. That's more than Republicans. So it's only a matter of time before independents are going to start winning these seats.
They said we love political talk, but we need to get down to the nitty gritty.
Hey, Tracy,
That's more than part for you.
Tracy, Paul said he'll run against you, so you'll be guaranteed to win.
What's up, Paul? All right. Hey, they started all of this. I'm just
Yeah, we always
did.
I know y'all. See, the thing about our viewers is they listen. They want the relationship gossip.
All right.
Yeah, who slept? Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, I don't have none of that.
Tracy got a lot of interesting things that our community needs to know about and needs to come to terms. We got people. See, Tony Holmes said good stuff. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, thanks, Tony. That's class A.
All you ratchet people texting me wanting to ratchet
What's going on?
Yeah,
he's educating us about improving the community. So therefore, your ratchet people could choose the better men. So get your good baby daddies who want to get jobs. Now volunteer. Get their hands dirty. Become accountable, responsible.
Right.
Accountability. He's
Right.
teaching you so we're going to do education first half and ratchet the second half.
You have a balance here.
Perfect balance. There you go.
So
Perfect balance.
I'll check out at the 30-minute mark when all the ratchetness stuff.
Use yourself to
All
the
right, I'll be
bathroom
like,
or
all
something.
right. So Tracy comes in for the 30-minute political, and I'll see you guys next week.
No,
And then
you
it just-
gotta
it
sit
just-
in on
Hey,
that.
sweetie.
All right.
Some people need blessed oil thrown on the phone. So
You're gonna be able to draw
Okay,
in.
well
Let's
let's talk. I mean, I can chime in on a variety of conversations.
definitely. Okay. So yeah, we got several. I done had so many stories, like so many texts, and I just we've been doing other things, and I've been not here or late getting here or whatever have you. But interesting enough, a young lady friend of mine was she was
Girl, that was not me.
she was living with this guy because her lease was up, and he was supposedly her friend, and she went to sleep on the couch because that's where she slept at. He tried to attack her in her sleep. She got him off of her and everything, and she went running out of the condo or whatever have you. But she left only with her purse and her shoes.
That's a lie.
Can I finish?
Okay, sorry.
So nevertheless, she had clothes at her daughter's house or some crap like that. And so she went to a formal function, and he came there with another young lady, but wearing her clothes and carrying one of her purses.
Wow.
So what's the issue? Because she's friend.
But it's her
Well,
stuff.
it's her
He
clothes,
won't let
though.
her get her stuff. He won't let her come in and get her things out. She's then got the police involved in everything. She just wants her
She
stuff.
abandoned the lease. When you abandon
Well,
the
no,
lease.
she wasn't on the lease.
She wasn't on the
was
lease.
never
She
on
was
the
staying
lease.
with him.
Right.
Because he offered her a place when her lease was up.
She left. When she left all things behind.
Yeah.
She don't get nothing back. Sorry.
Somebody try to rape you, and you not finna say, oh, by the way, let me stop and get my clothes.
The cop should have been
Did they
called.
charge her? Did they?
They're going to court for it right now. She
okay.
restraining order and everything. So when she went back to get some of her stuff, he had thrown it away.
Oh wow.
And this individual has very expensive stuff. So he claimed he threw it away, but like I said, the woman came in with one of her
Ran
outfits on.
outfits, yeah. That's crazy.
So he wrapped it up and gave it to him.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did. Like, hey,
but at the end of the day, how do you go about this? Was your friend, or so you thought was your friend?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's not
and then
a friend.
you attack.
Hey,
your
Miss
friend.
Adams, how you
So
doing?
what do you?
That's not a friend.
You know,
that
and
definitely is not
I
a
told her, I
friend.
said, listen, if the clothes and stuff that's important to you, you file a
But
civil suit against him.
Right.
I said,
but-
if not, let it
just let
go,
that go.
and
Yeah.
God gonna bless
How long
you
have
with
they been
something
friends?
else. I don't think it's been very long,
Corey,
to be
what's up,
honest.
bro?
Yeah.
Maybe about 6 or 7 months.
Well, see, yeah, and you know, we got to be careful
Greg, what's
too.
up,
And
bro?
she's such a beautiful,
Yeah,
she's a very,
that-
very beautiful
That you,
woman.
hey, there go my cousin.
So-
Hey, cuz.
Well, allow me to apologize for prejudging.
She's like, that's a lie.
That's
Right.
The way
She
they
just
came up,
went
like,
down
no,
just went out.
no, that's a lie. It's a missing links in there,
No, he tried to attack her while she was asleep on the
But
couch.
you know, that's
Well,
and she
try to hear
she
that.
barely 105 pounds soaking wet. So
Oh,
you can
wow.
just
But,
imagine. And
yeah.
he's like 6, you know, she need him in his private places and
wow.
everything else to get away from
That's
him.
sad,
But
man.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I mean,
it was
that-
like he had been, she said after she really thinks about it, she said she knows she's woke up a couple of times and saw him staring at her while she was asleep.
Well, that's pretty
Look,
creepy
let me
there.
tell you
too.
now.
Yeah.
I wake up and you
I mean,
staring at me while
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
asleep.
some of the stuff.
I'm gonna have a knife under my pillow the next night, and
Nah,
you
what's
know,
up,
my
bro?
gun.
It's
It won't be right.
But-
Technically, it won't be a next night.
Right.
So you know, I told her just let the stuff go.
Yeah.
But
Especially
she was like, "It's my furs, it's my purses, it's
Well,
my."
but
that's
but
all
but she
materialistic.
but right,
And
she has her
something
life.
worse could have happened
Right,
to you.
exactly.
Yeah,
Correct.
definitely.
So that I would just
So she
give
said
her-
I was wrong for saying that. And I'm like, I'm not wrong. I'll talk about it on my show because I know I'm not wrong.
Right.
It's materialistic
Right.
things.
Yeah,
You can let
yeah,
that
you
go.
gotta
Let
let
that
that go.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
can
let
be
that go.
replaced.
Yeah.
That's
No.
what's
Yeah.
wrong
Yeah.
with women. They
Yeah.
get with these guys that's wrong and that want to buy them the world. It's materialistic. And then the next thing you know, they beating your butt.
Yeah, he is a
Yeah.
creep.
You know,
bro.
it
Yeah.
makes
I
it
love 'em.
crazy.
I don't have nowhere to go.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd rather go to behind Sam's, get me a box and a couple of milk crates and find me a blanket. I'm gonna build me a tent.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna get
But
me a
I mean,
Folgers
you know,
can. I'm gonna
I-
give me a couple of pieces of charcoal. Y'all ever tried that? You
Now-
light that
now-
charcoal up under the Folgers
now
we
can.
know you
got
used to
your-
that, Chris. but
let me
no,
let
we
me
ain't
throw
tried
this
it,
out
so.
there.
I learned that at camp.
Yeah, I
Let me
know.
throw this out there, Chris.
Camp.
Now you said she has all these expensive things, furs and all that,
Yeah.
but she didn't have a place to stay.
That's what I said.
Right.
She could have sold a few of them furs and got her.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I said.
mean, so
So I just think it's
her
some links in
priorities
this.
was messed up.
Yeah.
That's
But you
what-
know
I mean,
what?
to
When
start.
you were a rich man's wife, then you got a divorce and you took all your belongings with you.
well, you,
But
you-
still,
know,
you
and
need a
then-
place to stay
Yeah,
above
right.
She
anything.
did, but then she broke up with the next person.
okay, well then.
It
And-
sounds like it's a pattern.
Well,
It-
no,
it-
he ended up being the crackhead, but you know,
Oh,
she
Lord,
broke up with
boy.
that
Well,
person.
she got some-
So I think she has a bad choice in men, but she
Okay.
really honestly thought that this guy was her friend because she did tell me how many times that this guy was her. He's so nice, he's so sweet. I'm like, watch him. You
Well,
don't
you gotta
know
be
him.
careful
That's
with
just
that.
me.
Yeah, you gotta be
Yeah.
careful.
Hey,
But
Pastor
the thing is,
Thurston.
hey,
Yeah.
Celicia, how
but
you doing, sweetie?
I would just say that, you know, for that she does need to reassess,
Just let it go.
you know, her values.
Yes.
Mm.
Because if it means me keeping a fur coat or a roof over my head,
I gotta give up the coat.
The coat
That's,
got to
that's,
go.
That
that's
coat gonna be
obvious.
that coat
you know?
gonna be over my
You
little
know?
tent.
Right. I mean,
That's
right.
gonna be
So
my
that's
tent.
just that's not even. But unfortunately, as we know, there are a lot of people who tie their worth to
Into
stuff.
To belong,
into
yeah,
materialistic
it's stuff,
things.
Yeah.
and they will stay in bad relationships.
Yeah.
They will take all types of abuse. Because when I walk out, girl, I'm getting into
I'm
a
good, thanks.
range. I got
No.
this and that, and it's not worth
You
it,
know the thing. The thing.
You know,
So-
God bless people the way that He bless people. Sometimes He gives you your trials and tribulations for you to learn,
Sure.
and He will give you
Sure.
several trials and tribulations because hey,
Sure.
you're not getting it.
Right.
I keep showing you over and
Right,
over,
and
and
you
you're
keep-
not getting it
Exactly.
because you don't want to get it because you're so impressed with what someone can buy you
Yeah.
or what someone can give you.
Well, you-
My daddy always told me, "You work hard
Yeah.
for what you need, not for what you need, not for what you want."
Mhm.
But for what you need. You always take care of your needs
Right.
before you take care of your wants.
right.
But you got a lot of, I mean, and it's, I can't say it's easy to fall into it because I was so protected
Mhm.
that I couldn't fall into the little realm of, oh, he got my nails done. Oh,
Mhm.
it's like, girl, really? I got my own nails and hair done. What you mean?
Well, and then
But
like
you have people like that.
like you said, I mean, you know, my daughter is 24, and she's daddy's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And any, you know, I've always told her that, you know, you don't need to ask anyone for anything,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm here for you. And then when that time comes for me to give her away, then I'll gladly give her away to that man that
Right.
can take care of that.
Right.
But she can always still come
She-
back
she-
to daddy.
Well, once she's married, then no, she can't get to come back to daddy. Because that would have to work through her husband.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm not gonna get involved in, I'm going to respect their relationship.
Right, I'm not
So
saying
now-
that,
so-
but I'm saying.
I thought you meant she
No.
jack up money, then call me and be like,
no,
Daddy.
that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, no, she's always my
Right,
baby.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
always.
here's the thing. I mean, just looking at it from a little bit broader
Right, Gant.
spectrum. I
LaShonda.
can understand
Hey,
how
my
people
sissy
get caught up in
Renee.
that. You know what I'm saying? You get spoiled and you get used to one way of life. So that's all if that's all you know, then I can understand it. My thing is, Glenn, what's up, bro? The thing is, at some point you have to understand, especially, you know, when you're going through a divorce, that, okay, it's time for me to reorganize.
Mhm.
It's time for me to, you know what I'm saying, get my stuff in order so I don't have to worry about that. Now, again, if this is all I'm used to, then let me figure out how I can stay on this level. And if it don't work out, then you have to be humble enough to say, all right, well, look, this ain't gonna work out for me. So let me break it all the way down and then build myself back up. And no matter how long it takes, 2, 5, 10 years, then at least I have a game plan and I can work toward it. A lot of people, what happens is lot of people, exactly. They, you know, oh, well, look, I got fur coats my first year, so I got to get fur coats every year. I got to get, you know what I'm saying, 3 or 4 a year.
Right.
And even after, you know what I'm saying, that man or that woman or whoever has, you know, gone from your life, they don't know how to get away from that. They don't know how to break it down. And that's the crazy part about it.
I mean, my first husband, we had our own company. But to me, it wasn't about the materialistic things, because it was just like I was so used to doing for myself that it was hard for me to, when he would buy me something, like he gave me a wedding ring. It was simple. I was happy because it's a token of your love.
Thank you.
So like I think maybe a year or two after we got married, he went out and bought me this huge wedding set. And I'm like, I don't want that, because I was happy with what I had. That doesn't make it better because you come bringing me a bigger ring. You understand what I'm saying? And so I, being who I am, was like, I took it back.
Did you tell him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told him I was taking it back because I said I didn't want it. And I literally came back home and he paid cash for it. And I literally gave him the cash back for the ring. Now, I was a little upset because we just started off with the company and it was building, and for him to have spent that much money. So what did he do next? He goes out and buy me an Audi 5000. This is in the 90s. Chris didn't learn how to drive until Chris was like 24, 25 years old.
Jesus.
So I did not know how to drive. Did you never think to say, that's why I'm like, take me to the store?
So he didn't know you couldn't drive?
He did not know that I could drive.
Well, that should have been something that
drive.
should have been approached maybe before y'all got married. I mean, I don't understand.
No, he never asked.
Date and marry, and I don't know, you don't drive?
Because he was a gentleman. He always picked me up.
Oh, yeah,
I get it, but I mean,
hey, Mom.
My wife is a, you know, she drives all day long, right? But somehow when we're together, she doesn't know how to drive anymore.
Automatically,
you know,
because men are supposed to drive.
I watched it. What's going on?
My mother drove my mother everywhere.
Right, but my wife does drive.
I don't mind driving. I don't mind driving. You know, I was just talking to my son on the way over here. We're going down to New Orleans at the end of June.
Did you check with your probation
officer
first?
And so he said you got a case coming up, so he's gonna be busy with you. Jeff, what's up, bro? So my thing was, initially when my wife and I talked about it, she said we fly, but when we just revisited this about a month ago, she's like, yeah, I ain't got no problem driving down there. And instantaneously, I was like, oh, you ain't got no problem me driving down there.
Just ride down there.
That's right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ride shotgun all the way there.
And yes, again, I don't mind
on the driving for the most part, but every now and then, you know what I'm saying, we get tired, you know what I'm saying? We don't feel like driving every now and then. So
I drive. Like when me and my husband go on trips, I have no problem.
Yeah,
my husband's looking tired.
What's up, Elliot?
Pull over and I'll take it in. Yeah. Or I'll start off driving. I'm a night driver, so if you put me on the road at night, Chris is getting down. You wake up and it's the sun bright.
That is not gonna work for me.
That's what you do.
He always accused me like you were speeding. We shouldn't have been this far up. Yep,
Daniel,
but I didn't get
bro?
Caught. That's all you should be concerned about is that I did not get caught.
Yeah, right.
So,
I don't do
but no,
drive.
I don't let my husband drive. I literally will drive. I don't get in and honestly think, oh, well, he's supposed to drive because he's the man, even though that's what my dad did with my mom. Because there were plenty of times my dad was driving and I knew my dad was tired.
Antoinette,
but Barbara can't drive though.
Oh, your mother can drive?
No, but my mother will tell you she can drive. And I'm like, yeah, lady, come on, take my car out and let me see you. My mother cannot drive.
Think of it, I've never seen your mother drive.
Seen my mother drive, but let her tell you she can drive.
Okay.
No, lady, you can't. You're going to do what you always do. Get in the passenger seat and let one of us take you.
Okay. Gotcha.
But no, I don't have a problem. See, when you marry, you're supposed to be that helpmate.
Mhm.
So whether we in a car driving or not, I'm going to make sure that I'm always there to help my husband.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of times he'll be like, no, I got it. I'm
Chillin',
gonna drive.
bro. What's
And
going on
no,
with
you're
you?
tired. Let me
Right.
drive.
Well, when we
You know?
drove to Miami, we drove from here to Atlanta, spent the
Mhm.
night, and then drove. It was this was when my son graduated from high school, so we knew this was probably one of the last family vacations.
Right.
So we said, well, instead of flying, we're just gonna spend
Girls,
time in
what's
the
up, bro?
car.
Yeah, it's family
Yeah.
time.
Hey,
Yeah,
Linda.
definitely. And that's
So,
how
yeah.
we do, man.
Yeah.
We've driven to Florida a few
Yeah,
times, and
yeah.
down
Yeah.
to Atlanta and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it is a good way
It
to
is.
bond.
It
You know what I'm
really
saying, with
is.
each
And
other and
so-
stuff like that. It's cool. So I don't have a
'Cause
problem
now
doing
they-
that.
Now, see,
Yeah.
the bonding part we don't do
Well,
because
see,
he sleep.
Oh, really?
I let him
now,
sleep
when we
because
ride,
I know he's
we
tired.
don't even have the radio on most of the time. Me and my wife talk for just hours.
Yeah.
Either I'm
Hours.
reading a
Lavina,
book
what's
or
going
I'm
on,
talking,
mama?
but he don't kind of see. He one of the
Chillin',
people
bro.
that like when he drive, I'm
Lavina,
hitting brakes.
thanks for checking
Oh,
Oh,
in.
I'm
sweetheart.
grabbing
okay.
onto something because
Oh.
my husband will be on the phone and he'll drive up on something. I'm
Oh,
like, Lord,
okay.
Gwen, what's up,
there
mama?
have been right. There's been
It's all good,
times-
Elliot.
There's
All
been
good,
times
bro.
where I literally done crawled out the front seat over to the seat and in the back, like, yeah, if you
Oh,
case you,
wow.
at least I'm in the back. Well,
Oh, wow.
one of us got to survive to tell the story.
Right.
That's what I always say.
That's what I say too. I say
Right,
the
one
same
of us
thing.
got to
Yeah,
survive
yeah,
to tell
yeah.
the story. But he
Right.
swear he's not a bad driver. And I'm like, you get up on people and don't let him be on the phone with somebody from the lodge
Mhm.
and it's something done wrong. And I'm like,
Yeah, you
yeah, but
got
you
it.
see they hit
What's
their
up,
brakes.
Frat?
I'm like, babe, they hit brakes. Brake
Yeah.
lights.
Antonio,
you know?
what's up,
Yeah.
bro?
But again, when you marry, you're
Yes,
supposed
sir.
to be a
Roosevelt
helpmate.
Mustangs all over the
In
place.
all
man.
aspects of the relationship, you're
Well, yeah.
supposed to be a helpmate.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of times we get a little caught up in life where we don't
Spoiled.
because just a little bit. You get so spoiled in life that you don't pay attention to, like, you're not really being that helpmate that you should be.
Mhm.
I'm guilty of it.
And that's a topic I
Most
think
women are.
we really do need to explore
You
because
have to.
so many times, me and my wife have been a couple for 28 years. We'll be married 26 in
I was
September.
only one when y'all got married.
And so, okay.
Glad to hear that.
But
Hey, Mama J.
we do have roles,
Mhm.
and people don't want to hear that today.
Yeah.
I have a question because I know
Sure.
I want to Takara.
Mhm.
I want to say, but they always hear these conversations,
Cousin
White
Sharon, what's
people,
going on?
right?
Nobody
So-
can to you.
What is the definition from a man's point of view? What is the wife duties?
There's
Scott,
really,
what's up, bro?
I always say you should sit down as a couple and really lay out
And
where
work
your
that out.
strengths
Yeah.
at. Because to blanket and say you cook or I cut the grass or I don't think that's how
That's
it goes.
not fair.
That's
It's not fair.
Yeah, because some people, I know a lot of men who cook all the dinners.
Mhm.
So I just think it's
Yeah.
couple by couple. And I always say that communication, you really need to talk those things out. We have our roles. I handle everything on the outside of the
What's
house.
up, bro?
Mhm.
Don't you touch my grass. I don't want nobody touching it. I edge it. I do everything.
Okay.
Now the landscaping, I do have a company come in and take care of my landscape, but the cutting of the grass, how I do all of that's me. And then my wife, we just work together because we both are very, very like neat people. So it just works for us.
Yeah.
See, now, my husband the opposite.
Okay.
I'm the neat, and he's just like wherever it comes off at, that's where
Oh,
it goes.
okay.
So I don't even go down like into his TV room because
They know assigned duties. That's right.
It's a disaster.
It's an open discussion.
Well,
You play to your
like,
strength. There
with
you
me
go.
and
That's
my
right, Elliot.
ex-husband,
That's what
I
make it
cooked,
work, man.
He washed dishes and took out the garbage.
So it goes back to pretty much
it was-
communication.
Yeah. Because see, my wife has a way of tricking me into doing things. She'll talk to the dog, and she'll say,
no, that
"Charlie
works.
Brown, this garbage really needs to go out."
Uh-huh.
And so,
She said,
that's real. That's my dog name, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
So this is just a little game we played for years. And I'd be like, okay, babe, I'm gonna take the garbage out. And she's like, oh, okay. So it's just, but
Yeah.
it works for us,
Yeah.
but we used to have, when we were young in our marriage, we used to actually have weekly communication meetings.
Mhm.
And so when the kids were small, okay, what is it that you need me to do? and then we will revisit it at the end of the week. Did I hit those points?
Right.
We really and that
That's
worked.
That's a good idea. That's a
That
real good
actually
idea.
worked for us. And we, even when we counsel people now, we tell them, because think about it, especially if you're rearing children,
Sheila, what's going on?
I need you to pick the, your daughter up on Wednesday. Let's talk about those things.
Right.
Then we would come back and say, how did I do? What did I miss? And it kept those lines of communication open.
That's
So
wonderful,
how often do
man.
You guys do that?
We would meet on Sunday night to lay out the week.
Yeah.
And then on Friday night, we would
Hey, Chris
recap
Jackson.
to say, what did we do? Did we hit all our points? And then
Why
it
you
just
got
worked
two
for us.
phones
For
on?
years.
So you met your point, or she
Mhm.
met all her points.
Mhm.
Was there reward?
Oh, we would always. I mean, when the kids were smaller, we would have a sign Saturday. So, it was 4 of us. I have 2 children. So each person get to pick what they wanted to do on that Saturday.
Mhm.
So whatever restaurant, whatever. So and then that's how we did it until they got to be junior high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
And
they didn't
then
want
all
to
of a
hang with
sudden
y'all
they
no
don't
more.
hang
Yeah.
with us no more.
Y'all old
Yeah.
now, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Couples.
Well, I've been a pastor it'll be 16 years in November, but I've been ordained since 2001.
Okay.
And I've been preaching since 97. But counseling, I mean, I've married 38 couples so far.
I can still.
She said out of line.
Dang. Dang.
Most are. You're not gonna, because there are some people when you're counseling them, they don't want to look at facts. So what we try to do
Number one reason
is I
why they
try to
divorce.
counsel you at least over a 6-month period, because people, we don't never argue and stop all that,
Mhm.
because you're gonna have a disagreement.
Yeah,
You're going to
absolutely.
have a
So
disagreement.
Absolutely.
so we try to work through things. We try to help people with their finances, because that's a big issue. Blended families, those are big issues. So actually, I'm getting ready to do a marriage retreat. Shout out to my boy Sheldon Walker. We're going to
Elliot, what's up,
Gatlinburg,
bro?
I
Tennessee.
want to go.
You shoulda
But it
came.
was like last minute when
Yeah,
I
you should have
saw
came.
it.
Yeah, we're
Because that's
doing
coming
it.
up in a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're going to be down there.
Who get married?
Oh no, it's a marriage retreat.
Oh,
in
okay.
They
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
that's
very,
right. Yeah, that's
and
right.
I,
Yeah,
and
that's right. I
Angie
saw
B
that.
said it was
Yeah.
off the
I saw that.
chain.
Yeah,
And
I
I
saw
was
that.
like,
I did
oh,
see that. I see
We
that.
I
had
really
we
wanted
had
to go this
He
year.
sent me an invitation too.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we want to keep doing it, make it bigger, but
Maybe
we
I
got
can fit in y'all
Thanks,
luggage or
Elliot. I
something.
appreciate it,
we
man.
got a-
I'm good, man.
we
I
got
hope
a
the same for
cabin
you too,
and it
bro.
holds 14 couples.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own private
wow.
suite.
So you did it last year
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Okay, see,
yeah.
I didn't realize that you
Yeah.
and Cynthia were the
Yeah,
ones who.
yeah, we don't.
I gotta get there.
Y'all
I
had
gotta get
pictures,
there.
didn't y'all?
Yeah,
Didn't you post
yeah,
pictures?
yeah.
I remember
All I know
seeing
is
that. Yeah,
Angie
I
B
remember
said it
Yeah,
was the
Angie
best.
was there.
It was the
Because
best.
what
She
we
said
do,
she got
we-
so much insightful.
Yeah, we counsel differently than what I used to.
Mhm.
And so what we really do is put it on
I'm
the
getting
couple.
that, bro.
We
Slowly but
got to
surely,
put
bro.
this
I
on you.
appreciate it, man.
We used to do marriage retreats and we'll have all this literature, and then at the end of the retreat, you see all the people that left the literature. I said, we done had us.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you,
what we
man.
do now, we give you the tools,
Mhm.
and then it means more when you invest in your own
Oh,
marriage.
Exactly.
There you go.
It means more that way
Yeah.
than me
Exactly.
giving it to you and you put it in the bag. Thanks for the bag. Then the bag goes in the trunk and you never
And your
bring it out.
papers is
But
flying
see,
down the highway, right?
but a lot of couples when they mess up, for me, where I see it at is where they mess up, because a lot of people come to me and Tony, so we're supposed to be doing the marriage counseling at our church, but a lot of people where they mess up at is the communication skills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
don't know how to communicate
Because
with each other.
there's communication and there's effective communication.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We can talk to each other all day, every day,
Right.
but if you're not hearing me, or if I'm not hearing you,
Right.
then it means nothing. And
Right.
then at the end of the week or whenever we come
Right.
back, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember what you said. You don't remember what I said. Then that means that I'm not effective in what I'm saying. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I actually had to get to the point. My wife would say things and I said, babe, can you email me that so I can follow up?
Mhm.
Because, and I had this not too long ago. She was like, do you be listening to me? And I actually
get
had
that all
to
the time
stop. And
too,
I was
yeah.
like, and I said, and it kind of scared me. And at first I was like, did we actually talk about this?
Right.
She said, babe, I said, you know what? I am so sorry. And babe, have I been doing better? Okay. She said, so.
Ain't
So,
nothing
and
wrong
that's
with
me,
that,
because my
baby.
husband say to
Soak
me,
it all
"All right,
up,
Chris,
baby.
are
Soak it
you
all up,
are
'cause
you listening
eventually
to
you
me?"
will be.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
And that
Yeah, but we
she
said
also
it.
says, my wife says the way you communicate changes with the different seasons of life.
yeah.
So because now
B,
I
what's up,
really,
bro?
when she
How you
told
doing,
me,
man?
she was like, I was like, we actually had a conversation. She was like, we talked about this. You commented on it. I was like, oh my God. I said, so what she'll do, she'll send me an email or send me a text message, be like,
Brother Leak, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
And so whatever it does to help that,
right?
Because if you have a certain type of personality, my mind's going.
Yeah.
So I'm listening, but at the same time, am I really listening? And so I don't want to, have a situation where she's saying things and I'm just like blowing it off, and it wasn't many things, but this one thing, it was something that was pretty serious. And she was like, we talked about that. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
So, and I had to admit it in front of the church. I said, listen, y'all, and that way you hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's what it's about, holding yourself accountable.
I just think with me, like I'm, and you can attest to this, I'm on the go so much. And I might have had the conversation and just don't recall it because I'm always, my mind is on. I got a million people. I got a million people coming at me with different things. Right? And I'm listening to, like for my chapter, it's 21. I'm listening to 20 other women coming to me with all these different things. And then in all of my upper houses, I'm listening to all this stuff.
Oh, y'all, I meant to say, y'all know y'all can join me on April 27th, y'all chapter, and come out to Franklin Park and help me clean it up.
We're doing something on 27 on Earth Day. That's 20th.
Y'all doing something?
Yeah, we're doing something. We're in the city. We're at Sherwood Park.
Okay.
On the 20th.
All right.
But what I'm saying is it all. Hey, Kelly.
Oh, y'all at Sherwood.
Yeah, we're at Sherwood Park. Good. So the thing is that it is about effective communication. And honestly, people, he can tell me something, and now I have the habit of when he does tell me something, especially if it's something that he negates that's very important, I write it down.
Okay.
And I put it in my phone on the calendar so it can pop back up for me.
Right.
Because I don't want him to think that I'm not listening to him.
Right. And well, I share my calendar now with my wife.
Yeah.
And I make sure she's included, and that way she can put things on her calendar because I don't want to be like, oh, you
Kelly, can I come to the marriage retreat for free?
And then she like, I got a about it to this morning. So
you do the marriage retreat every year?
This is our second year.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place where they go in
Galveston.
I've
never been to Galveston. That was my first time going.
And it's absolutely
wonderful.
It
is gorgeous down.
What's going on, Walker?
Kelly need to sponsor me.
Hey,
can I get a Groupon price? Pay for one and get one free.
The single people.
Well, we have different things for singles as well. Okay. But I always tell like the singles as part of our church. I always say, listen, I'm not single. So y'all have to tell me, okay, what is it that y'all are interested in? And that way we can start talking about those things. Now I can help prep you for marriage.
But is it single? Are you single if you've really been with somebody? How long y'all been together?
You do know this is live,
right?
I just want her to have
this is live.
I just want her to have some accountability.
Oh my
goodness gracious, man!
Right. Well, are you single if you've been together 18 years?
What clarifies you as single?
Right.
Takara's single.
We talking about you.
Ooh.
I'm not married.
But you might as well be.
But I'm not married.
But you might as
so y'all common law is that what it is?
Illinois don't have a common law.
Okay, well. So you single then? That's what it is. You single but taken. She's single but taken. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Single but taken.
Okay. Not the show of Tasha. I'm just having.
Well, that's what I said.
You asked about single stuff,
listen,
and I
didn't. Tasha, like really, like Kelly, man. Kelly does a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Not just for married couples. He has a lot of events.
He has a lot of great things.
He has a Super Bowl party every year down there in Tennessee.
Okay. I ain't going to
he got a white party up here in July that he has on the boat. Yeah, he does a lot of fantastic
You ain't getting me in Gatlinburg in the winter. I can tell you that.
Not
mountains, I don't do no mountains in the winter time.
No, bro. But I mean, it's just those kinds of things. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? He got a lot of stuff going on.
What time is it, you guys?
It's 10 after 8.
Yeah,
8:09. Yeah.
Well, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We
thank you, Lavina.
See you guys next week.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna put it up next week before we come on. So y'all have a good one.
Yeah, we'll post now that I'm back online, y'all. I know how to do it now. Everybody can tune in, not just Morgan Park people like it's been last month. Right. So we'll get it together. So,
all right. Have a good one, everybody.
Y'all take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
We are Candid Talk Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you. Together Couples Retreat focus on blended families.
Hey, Tony.
Is that this year?
Baby.
I got a blended family.